So this year we decided we would make a second wine. This wine is still going to be under the Mirabeau umbrella in the Mirabeau family, and it is mainly going to be for restaurants and hotels. In other words, the on-trade. So that means we had to come up with a name. We had to make sure the name wasn't already registered. So we came up with the name Mirabeau La Comtesse, or the Countess. Which is kind of part of the family of Mirabeau, if you like, because we named the brand initially after the Comte de Mirabeau, Count of Mirabeau, who was a real prominent figure here in Provence during the French Revolution. In fact, he was like the equivalent of the governor of Aix-en-Provence, so a real character, and we thought we'd name this wine after his wife, the Countess. So we had to come up with a name, and then we had to register it for a trademark, which we've done, and then we had to come up with a label design. Now, the label design is always a fun part. We had lots of ideas, and in the end we came up with what we thought was quite a pretty design. And that's when the problem started, because what we wanted to do was have La Comtesse written in gold across the middle of the label, with a very fine kind of watermark of the same vines and birds on the regular Mirabeau label, so that it's all sort of part of the same family, and very obviously so. So we're using a very good design company in the UK, and the boss of the company is a friend of mine. So when they sent the print spec through, I thought that was what we should take to the printers here in Provence, because we get them printed locally. And I trusted that the Pantone colours on the print spec would be right. So when and then we had to agree how many labels to get printed, because we weren't sure how many we would sell, whether we should get 5,000 printed, 10,000 or 20,000 printed. And it makes a big difference to the costs. So for example, getting 5,000 printed, I think the cost per label works out at about 25 cents a label. To get 10,000 it works out about 17 cents, and to get 20,000 it works out about 10 cents a label. But it's obviously all upfront money, so we decided to go for the middle for 10,000 labels, so about 1,700 euros, and we sent the print spec off to the printers. They printed it one day, and then I had to go and collect the labels. And that's when I realised that it was all gone horribly wrong. So the watermark basically is way too dark, so you can hardly make out the La Comtesse in gold, and basically it's a disaster. So we've had many discussions, emails and so on with the printing company, and also with the designers, and it basically it's an almighty cock-up. And I've got to I had to reprint the whole lot, which we've done now. So I've had to throw 1,700 euros basically in the bin and start again, and we've done it. Finally we've got what I think is a beautiful look. So we've got La Comtesse, the gold shows prominently, and the birds and the vines are still much more of a watermark. But yeah, so to get from what should have been right first time to what we actually had to go through first time, it's been a tough learning experience. It also cost us, because we had customers waiting for the wine. We had a lorry ready to pick up the wine the day after the bottling. We had to delay those, and the lorry, the courier, the haulage company still charged us to send the lorry because it was a bank holiday. Anyway, so a few thousand euros lighter, and I suppose a little bit wiser after the event. There you go. Doesn't always go well.